Hey girl, it's Coach B. Wiley. I got a request. This young lady wants to know, when she expresses her needs to the guy that she's dating, how long does it take before she leaves him, or does she readdress what she needs from him when they're dating? What to do? If you're in this situation to where you're dating this guy and your needs are not being met, number one, back it up. Let's say you just met this guy. The appropriate thing to do when you're just dating early on and you like each other, you've been on a few dates, he's being consistent, that's when you exchange your wants and your needs from that potential dating mate. Not saying it's him, but you're just saying, this is what I want. And he's explaining to you, well, whoever I'm going to be with, this is what I want and what I need. So if you have not done that, it doesn't matter. If you're already in too deep, it's okay. Just remember, the next time, do it this way. It's a process and steps must be followed. For those of you who are already in it, like this young lady who requested this video, if you're already in it and your needs are not being met and you didn't have the previous conversation, it's okay. You can address it with him. How do you do that, B. Wiley? You do it with good body language. Your tone is right. You leave the emotions behind, because you never leave with emotions, because then you're being illogical, because your emotions are taking up the space. Let's say your love language is time and he just ain't got no time. He just busy. And so you coming in hot because you ain't spending time with him. He's not going to listen to you. He ain't going to want to talk to you. And he's going to probably want to get away from you even more. So what you do is, whatever that need is that is not being met, you come to him and lead with love. I always say lead with love. That does not mean that you're in love with him or that you're even on that journey yet. It just means you're kind and you're open and you're letting him know why you appreciate the fact that you're dating him, what you appreciate about him. Then you transition with the word however, my needs in this department have not been met. I desire X, Y, Z. And I'm just wanting to know how we can get to this point, what we can do to get my needs met when your needs are being met all the time. You express to him, give him examples of what your needs are and how they're not being met. You just have a conversation. And what if he wasn't even clear on what you needed? Maybe that's why he hasn't meeting your needs. Don't go in making assumptions, thinking he's a mind reader and that he knows what your needs are. Don't even do that to yourself. What you do is you say, however, this is not being met, and maybe I was unclear. Because when you're emotionally intelligent, you'll say, I don't make an assumptions. Maybe I was just unclear about what I actually needed. Maybe you just didn't know. And because of that, I'll tell you, this is what I need. And then that way it's clear, it's direct, there is no question. And after you have this conversation, ask him what he thinks, how he feels. Is he okay with meeting and fulfilling your needs? Is what you definitely want to make sure of. You're just having an open conversation about what you need. And everyone should be clear when the conversation is over. Now that you've addressed it, you've talked about it, the next thing you can do is sit back. You don't bring it up again. You sit back and watch him. That's all you got to do. You go along with your day every day. And if he understood what you said, he received it, he confirmed it, that means it didn't go over his head. It didn't go in one ear and out the other. He's literally telling you he hears you. So his actions should then show you that he's willing to fulfill your realistic needs. Realistic, don't be unrealistic. See how I did that right there? Because I know us as women, we can be unrealistic sometimes. But let's just say you're being realistic because you're smart, you're kind, you're wonderful. All right? Now, the other part of her question is, how long do I wait? She says, how long do you give until you bring it back up? Bring what back up? I told you, ladies, once you address something, ain't no going back and repeating what you addressed. Why are you going to do that? You think if he was on the job and his job addressed the fact that he's always coming into work late, they done told his butt once, and they done said, hey, look, If you don't come into work, on time, your butt is fired. You think they're going to come back and be like, now I told you the last time you will be fired, but psych, we're going to give you another time. So don't come into work late. You think a job going to keep giving somebody chances after they're blatantly doing something that they're not supposed to be doing? Come on now, sis. So you don't go back and readdress. What you can do, if this is a deal breaker for you, your needs not being met, then you can leave that dating situation. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you to consider it. I'm telling you what your option is. And if you choose not to leave, because you don't have to, that's your own right. If you choose not to, you don't have the right. You don't have the right to complain. You don't have the right to bring it up again. You don't have the right to get angry. You don't have the right to pout and go crazy and cuss folk out. You don't have the right to do that, because you made a decision to be with someone who openly and actively knows what your needs are and has decided they don't care about your needs and F you, and I'm going to do what I want to do. So in this situation, you don't ever readdress anything. I'm telling you, don't do it. Because why are you beating a dead horse? That's a lot of things with women. A lot of us women will address something, and then when we're not getting what we want, aka your needs met, then you think you got to go back and readdress and beat him over the head with this same conversation. For what? For what? Cut your losses. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Cut your losses. Do what you got to do for you, and ask yourself, am I going to continue to be okay with dating a guy who is not meeting my needs? Self, is this making me feel good? Self, is this boggling my brain and making me feel bad? Self, am I benefiting from being with someone who is not meeting my needs and who is deliberately not even caring, who deliberately heard the conversation we had because they were in it and they're choosing to not care about what I need in this dating situation? These are the questions that need answers, and only you can answer that. So I hope I answered your question, young lady. And if you're watching this and you're in a dating situation to where your needs are not being met and you've done what I told you to do, which is address it. He heard you out. He said he was going to do better. He does nothing. What are you going to do? Because at the end of the day, it's on you. And if you choose to be miserable with a dude who ain't meeting your needs, you don't have the right to complain. Just be miserable and be quiet. You got it? So either you can make a move or you can stay in the groove and be miserable. Pick one, sis. But whatever you do, don't complain about it. If you do choose to stay, you have no right to complain. And if you choose to leave, guess what? Better is around the corner and it's waiting on you. So make a decision. Listen to your gut. And let me know in the comments who's ready to make that move. Let me know in the comments who's choosing to do better for them versus choosing to be with the dude who is choosing to ignore your needs. I need to know. Talk to you later.